Welcome to FaceTime. I'm Faye. Please turn on your FaceTime now. Over the past 24 hours, attorney Lin Wood has sent out a number of posts referring to a 21-year-old young man named Harrison Dill. What's the deal with this 21-year-old? No pun intended. Well, he was well connected at the top Republican circles in Georgia. First, he was the Georgia Governor Brian Kemp's daughter's boyfriend. In a statement, Kemp even said that Harrison was like a son he never had. Secondly, he was Georgia's GOP Senate candidate David Perdue's intern. Last but not the least, he was also the other Georgia Senate candidate Kelly Loeffler's campaign staff. You can see how connected he was with the top GOP figures in Georgia. On the 4th of December, Harrison Dill tragically died in a car accident. However, there were two unusual points about this incident, making people think that there might be more to this accident. First, the accident happened less than 24 hours after the Georgia governor ordered a ballot audit for the election. Second, after the incident, local police and media were super quiet about this. Police initially had a Facebook post regarding the incident, but the link to this post no longer works. Furthermore, the eyewitnesses at the scene said they heard a loud bang when the incident happened, and from the picture of the scene, it looks more like a result from an explosion than a car crash. On top of the suspicious points mentioned above, the Georgia FBI Special Agent James O'Sullivan, who was supposed to investigate the incident, passed away on 14th of December in his residence. Putting all these pieces together, it seems to be more of a warning for the Georgia's GOP leaderships not to step out of the line. Are the threats and examples sent from the deep state? Could this be an explanation as to why the GOP leadership in Georgia chose to dismiss the voter fraud allegations? The fact that Lin Wood tweeted with comments saying that he has growing concerns about the death of Harrison Dill and his relationship with Georgia's Governor Kemp, it is highly likely that something else is behind the accident. Another thing worth noting is that Lin Wood, as a lawyer specializing in defamation cases last year, he helped the high school student Nick Sandeman filing the lawsuit against CNN and the Washington Post, resulting in large payments received by Nick from both CNN and the Washington Post. Lin Wood is no ordinary lawyer. So, Lin Wood's concern of this incident brings more weight to this matter. Worth us keeping an eye on this incident later on when the time is right. Another breaking news, the DNI Office of Director of National Intelligence decided to postpone its report on foreign interference in the election. Amanda Schoch, DNI Director of Strategic Communications, said in a statement that Korea intelligence officials will not meet the December 18 deadline because a number of agencies have not finished coordinating on the product. But the DNI is committed to providing this report to our customers expeditiously. The report, which is being delayed, is a classified report that goes directly to President Trump, and the public won't be able to see the report until it's unclassified. There are two things we like to pay attention to in this report. One is that an interesting phrase was used in the statement, Korea intelligence officials. It is known that the Korea officials are those who have been in the bureaucracy for a long time. Many would be at the upper echelon, aka the deep state. So is the DNI saying due to Swamp's interference, they couldn't get the report out on time? Another interesting fact is that before the DNI statement, OANN reporter Jack Posobiec, who is a former Navy intelligence officer and has lived in mainland China for many years, he said in a tweet, one of the main reasons DNI Director John Ratcliffe didn't sign off the report is because there are a lot of intelligence regarding CCP's action to influence the 2020 election. One example he provided is that Chinese networks amplified messaging that painted Trump as a white supremacist. It is clear that the key conflict between the good guys and the deep state is the amount of intelligence on CCP's involvement. Why is this matter so important? In a recent documentary titled Who is Stealing America, made by the NTD TV station, which is a documentary about the US 2020 election. In this documentary, It clearly showed the connection between the Dominion, the UBS, and the Chinese Communist Party. For information, I'll put the link in the description. Due to YouTube's new policy, we have to use the entity's website URL. If what's described in the documentary is true, it would be a clear evidence of foreign interference into the US 2020 election. And the alleged Chinese involvement in the report would certainly give President Trump the ground to enact the 2018 executive order, which gives him power to invoke certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in the United States election. If it comes to that, the result of the US 2020 election would be considered as invalid, and Biden can kiss goodbye to the present dream. This is why the deep state is trying so hard to interfere with the National Intelligence Report, so that Biden can be their puppet for the next 4 years. But I don't think John Ratcliffe would back down to the deep state on this. One of Persovik's sources told him Ratcliffe had drawn a line in the sand on China and not backing down. We'll soon see the result when the report is delivered. This week is destined to be the critical week for the general election. Several major events happen on the 14th. In addition to the Electoral College voting 2 sets of votes in 7 states, there is one more thing which is not so noticeable in comparison, but it caught my attention. That is, the US Department of Commerce and the Department of Homeland Security confirmed to the public that the entire US federal government has been invaded via the internet. The question is, where did the hacking come from and for what? The official statement mentioned that the hacker attack was through a network management company called the SolarWinds. To specifically, it's SolarWinds Orion Network Management that has the bug. Hackers entered the network through the bugs and controlled the entire connected network environment through the central network management equipment of the SolarWinds. Didn't YouTube go down a few days ago? The Gmail wasn't available for a while as well. It was because the US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, issued an order to cut off the network connections of all affected servers. That's the reason why YouTube and Google were down. The incident is not an ordinary hacking attack. Some experts said that this may be one of the most serious espionage activities in the United States, directly targeting the US government or the Dominion system. Why? The US federal government is among more than 100,000 total customers of SolarWinds in the world. According to the official website of SolarWinds, 425 of the Fortune 500 companies in the United States use SolarWinds, including the top 10 telecommunications companies, the 5 major US military services, the Pentagon, the State Department, NASA, the National Security Agency, the Department of Justice, and the Office of the President. And SolarWinds also confirmed that the attack is likely to be carried out by an external country. It is a narrow-scoped, a clear-targeted, and a manual-controlled attack, rather than a wide-range system-wide attack. It is worth noting that the Dominion voting company is also listed among the customers of SolarWinds. Although Dominion has removed the link to SolarWinds product from their website, the SolarWinds logo and link can still be seen from the previous archive photos. At the Michigan hearing that was just passed, the Dominion CEO denied using the SolarWinds products. Would you believe him in this? It's so cool. In this case, there are 2 pieces of information worthy of further scrutiny. One is that the target of the attack is a wide range of US government and the security departments. And the other side is the Dominion voting system, the dark hand behind the election fraud. At this time, hackers really come for these 2? Then what do they want? Continuing watching, you may have an answer. In addition to being a well-known large-size company, SolarWinds also have a lot of business in mainland China. You can find that on the open-source platform SourceForge. SolarWinds conducts network surveillance services in China. And when conducting network surveillance in China, that will inevitably involve speech censorship. So basically, you can conclude that the company is also a company that gave up professional ethics for money. Moreover, the main investment company of SolarWinds, the Silver Lake Partners, had also invested hundreds of billions of dollars in China, and it is also the biggest supporter of Ant Financial's first round of investment in the United States. After being attacked by hackers, SolarWinds' stock price plummeted for 22%. But there was a very interesting thing that happened. Just 6 days before the hacking news broke, on December 7, the Silver Lake investment company sold $158 million of stock at a high price sale in advance. Another private equity firm in San Francisco, Thoma Bravo, which has equity in SolarWinds, also sold $128 million in shares. Together, these two companies originally owned 70% of SolarWinds. Why did they sell so many shares in advance? Did they know that there would be some problem with the SolarWinds share price? Fear of heavy losses, so they transfer assets ahead of time? On 15th, a guest revealed an explosive message on the popular conservative commentator Sean Hannity's program that the FBI, the Texas Mounted Police, and the U.S. Marshals raided the headquarters of SolarWinds in Austin, Texas. What did they find? We don't know yet, but we can say that the hacker intrusion is very serious, and SolarWinds is looking quite fishy. If the investigation on SolarWinds can provide some clue, then it is likely to find more of the Dominion fraud evidence, and it will directly lead to the foreign forces behind the interference in the election. Where does these forces coming from? There's only one possibility, we'll say it later. Once foreign intervention is confirmed, the 2018 presidential decree can be triggered, so that more evidence will be available and the means of counterattack are in place. There will be definitely a good blockbuster show to watch. Wow, very excited. Just now we said that there is only one possibility of a foreign power behind this hacking, that is the CCP. Why? Some internet experts revealed that the virus is a variant of 2 Russian viruses that has been made to the public. So Russians can basically be ruled out. First, Russian hackers have a habit of never use viruses that they've been used before, and second, they cannot be so dumb that they would leak the evidence directly to themselves. Then, apart from Russia, only the CCP and Iran can achieve this kind of invasion. Iranian hackers might not be able to come up with such a complex level of hacking, and by looking at the chain of interests involved behind this hacking, you will see that CCP's suspicion is the most obvious here. Now, coming to this point, please allow me to refresh the original question, who is culprit and why? I believe you might already have the answer. At the end of the show, let's take a quick look at what happens next after the Electoral College casting 2 sets of votes in several states. It's indeed a really gratifying thing. On 14th, a total of 84 votes from the 6 swing states plus New Mexico were voted for Trump and Biden at the same time. So now Trump's votes is 232, Biden's votes is 222. Neither of them crossed the 270 tickets threshold. The next step is to see the congressional certification on January 6, 2021. Before that, these numbers are not countable. So the main downstream media can keep being crazy on calling for Biden in the election, but we don't care about it. On January 6, Vice President Pence will be responsible for presiding over the joint meeting of Senate and the House of Representatives and counting the votes of the states. Among them, as long as one senator or congressman challenges the voting results, this meets the minimum challenge requirement of the law. In this case, the Senate and the House of Representatives must be separated and conduct the discussion. If the 2 houses can't agree to each other on a state, then this state's ballot will be considered invalid. And if a house against it, then the state's vote will also be considered invalid. At present, the Republican member of the House of Representatives, Mo Brooks, has made it clear that he will definitely oppose the electoral vote put forward by the states. In the Senate, at least Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and Ron Johnson are likely to stand up and oppose it. The result is likely that neither Trump nor Biden can reach 270 electoral votes. At this time, the contingency election will be launched. As we have said before, the House of Representatives will vote for the president and the Senate will vote for the vice president. But the vote here is 1 vote per state, and there are more Republican states in the House of Representatives, so President Trump will win theoretically. However, it's really not as simple as that. A constitutional lawyer, Ivan Lecklin, made a guess. In the end, it may be a partisan dispute, and Nancy Pelosi may try to stop the Union Assembly and drive out the members of the Senate to prevent Pence from hosting. Alright, thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and make comment below. I'm Faye. I'll see you again soon.